You'd actually have a tryout at WWE quite early on in your career. What, after 3-4 months? How did you basically get that audition or the tryout? Sorry.
So I honestly couldn't believe it when it happened. I thought it was a prank because I have my email up for bookings and business, so I get a lot of like crazy emails, and it was obviously like the official email, and I just kept looking at it like, it is real. Is it real? Like, how can this be? Because I trained for a year. So I trained at a few different schools in London. I trained for a year, and then I, like you said, had about 3 or 4 months on shows, but I'd only had, I think at that point, like 2 matches. And so I think it was just a case of WWE were aware of me, and I was put forward because they were doing the all women's one, which was such an honor to be a part of that, because that's history, to be a part of the first all women's tryout in the UK. So I think I was put forward, and they'd seen some of my training videos, because I actually documented like a lot of my training online and talked about it, and there was content of me training. I got to wrestle Nina Samuels on my debut. I wrestled Chikara, so I think they'd seen those matches, and they probably thought, she's ready to come in and we could take a look at her. So I got an email about it. I think it had a couple of months to kind of I was training so hard because I've had situations in life where things have just happened and they're around the corner. So I always have this mentality of like, just always be ready, have everything ready. You don't want anything to ever be last minute. So I always train, and I still train at this now, like there's a tryout around the corner, because you just never know, especially with wrestling now and the amount of opportunities there are and the companies and just there's so much going on. It's just, you always want to be prepared. So for me, I always train like there's a tryout around the corner. Then of course, somehow there was a tryout around the corner. So I just tried to up the ante as much as possible and just put everything into it. And then the tryout itself was just such an incredible learning experience. And I was just so honored to be a part of it.
And who was at the training as well? Any names that the audience may know?
Yes, we had Sarah Stock, we had William Regal, and then there was a lot of girls. Nice. There were a lot of girls at the tryout that you'd probably know, like a lot of prominent British wrestlers, a couple of girls who were a little bit newer, like myself. There was a few models too. There was a bunch of different people from different backgrounds, which was really awesome, just to have such a nice mix in there. And then obviously we had the producers of NXT UK were there, and some of the NXT UK superstars were there too. Toni Storm helped out as well. She's amazing. So there was some pretty big names there. But it was just amazing. Like for me, these are people that I look up to. And so for me, I just went in there to try and be a sponge and just try to learn as much, because of course it's a tryout, and you're in game face and you're doing your best, because obviously it's you do your workout, you do promos, and you do some drills in the ring. So there's sort of 3 main parts to it, and then there's other little bits and pieces. But for me, not only was that's just kind of like an automatic thing, but for me, I was just trying to learn as well, because when are you ever going to get the chance for William Regal to give you feedback, especially 3 months in? So for me, I was just trying to just learn and ask questions and pick up as much as possible, because although it was 3 days of trying out, it's also 3 days of learning and training with some of the best. And of course,
that many may never get that opportunity. So that's unreal.
And then also just getting to work with like all these women's wrestlers too is so early on for me. I got to work with so many amazing girls and get to train with them and all push each other on, which was just, it was an amazing experience.